Today we're up in Maine at the Saco River Run with the Pine Tree Boating Club, and I'm running a 12 horsepower Firestone Discount 12, which was made by West Bend for Firestone. You can get at your local Firestone tire store or out of their catalog. This is the same 12 West Bend that came out I think in '55, and it was sold as an Elgin. And then a couple years later, they got the rights to sell them under their own brand name, West Bend. Then I believe also it was available as a Commodore. And there may be others, but it's the same 12 horsepower. These are great engines. One of my favorites, actually. They're smooth and quiet and quite powerful. And they're pretty trouble-free. Some of the mechanisms on them are a little different than others. Maybe I'll show you at the end. But once you get that stuff figured out, they're great. And some of the parts are still available. You can still get the impellers for them. It's got Wyco ignition, which you can convert the coils over to the AOMCI coils, and condensers are, there's so many condenser possibilities, so that's easy. And the breaker points, I've never had a bad set of breaker points on these. I just clean them and set them. All right, so let's go for a ride and see how it goes. Like them. All right, so let me pop the cover off on this thing and we can take a look. I'm gonna try not to drop this in the water. I did it. Okay, so this is a very clean example that I actually picked this up this past spring at a meet, and there was no really run history on it. The guy said he had it for years and he doesn't remember the last time he ran it, so they all just need the same typical stuff. Just rebuild the carburetors, replace the fuel lines, service the ignition, the water pump. I'm usually leery of the lower crank seals. This one was good, so I left it alone, but it looks like a pretty original engine. So I think this is what scares everybody, is the cable setup on these when you move the throttle. I must confess, the first time I saw it, I was like, what in the heck is that? But they work very, very well. Super smooth. There's a nice transition when you're moving the throttle. There's no stiff spots. You might think, oh, if I take it apart, I'm never going to figure out how to put it together, but trust me, you can. There's really only one way to put the cables on the right way, so it's not hard. So that's a little different. Like I said, it's got Wyco ignition, which they used on many engines for many years. It's got a Tilton carburetor, an MD series carburetor, which you can still get kits for. The water pump impeller, you can use a Chrysler impeller, which is still available. The fuel pump, you use the Chrysler fuel pump diaphragm kit, so that's easy to get. It's really very simple and very serviceable. And this is a clean example of one. Oh, it's got the access door on the front here for adjusting your mixture, low speed and high speed. And this one does not have that bowl drain that some of them had, where you push a button and it would drain out of a hose over here, and I'm okay with that. So I just run my inches dry when I'm done. Here's a little instruction sheet in the cover, and that's really it. So a 1962 Firestone 12 horsepower Viscount. Run 'em if you got 'em.